8 minutes in. It's a land nomad map, so we've not really missed anything. But I'll switch the in-game now. Switch to in-game even. Pause the music here and go. Alright guys, so welcome back to War is Coming. This is game 3 of the Roma versus Titanic set. And I've got to apologize because this game does start at 8 minutes and 50 seconds. It's a... the game must have dropped or something before this point, and this is the restore point of the game. So we are going to have missed the first few minutes of this game, but we've not missed anything too crucial. The map is the War is Coming map pack, but it is land nomad again, which means that they have been off to a slower start. And game 3, well, with land nomad, we've already seen one land nomad, but it should be an interesting one because we do have Eddie in here again. So anyway, we'll introduce the players and we'll see where the teams are split on the map. And then obviously after that, we can see how this game's going to go down for real. Up to the north of the map in the blue, we've got Eddie here playing as the Aztecs for Titanic. He seems to be in the pocket position, which is pretty nice for him as an arena player. That's going to be somewhere where he feels comfortable and where he wants to be. The other pocket player for his team is Kuta in grey, up to the northwest, playing as the Spanish. Down to his south, in the far west of the map, we have got VM in the green, playing as the Koreans for Titanic. And off to the other side of the map, on the far northeast, we have got Embel in the red, playing as the Persians for Titanic as well. So these guys are in red, blue, grey, and green. And that's the Titanic team. They're up to the north. They're sort of across this area. If you look on the minimap, you can see where I'm indicating. That's their team there. Now, for Roma, we've got on the flank position on the far west, very close to VM, by the way, we've got Rox playing as the Mongols in purple. And in the pocket position down to the very south, we've got TWNH Boy, once again playing as the Celts in the orange, down to the south there. Just to his southeast, we've got in the yellow, Levi B playing as the Vikings in the pocket for Roma. And on the other flank, as the teal, we've got Cloud. Cloud, the... well, very well-known player. He used to be called Malevolent Cloud, playing in the teal here as the Franks. So we've actually got non-mirror Civs here. If we have a quick look at the Civs, we've got Mongols, Franks, Vikings, and Celts for the Roma team. And for the Titanic team, we've got Persians, Koreans, Spanish, and Aztecs. Very different Civs here, and that should give us a really interesting match. Now, these Civs were predefined, predetermined. The Civs were chosen by the sponsor before the game, and that's going to be the same for every group stage matchup. So the imbalance, you can't really call it imbalance of Civs, but the non-mirror Civs here is intentional, and that's been set up so that it gives us an interesting game. And you could say, well, one team might have an advantage or a disadvantage depending on the Civs they get in this situation, but the next game, the losing team, gets to choose Civs. So it kind of balances out in the end. So we've got a bit of a villager war going on at the south or the west of the map. Oh, I just got another Wallalo there. I hope I didn't miss that because it's not popped up on my second screen. Does that sub hype? Oh, it's Albino Bat just subscribed. Thank you very much, Albino Bat. You're awesome. Brand new Wallalo Warlord right there. Best new subscriber. Thank you, Albino Bat. Yeah, villager war going on the west of the map here, and between Rox and VM. I don't see any villagers going down just yet, but VM gonna lose one there to Rox, and villager fighting in this map is so lame, but it's something that just you kind of expect it to happen when it's like when you start this close to one another. I think VM was trying to lame these deer. If you notice these deer all being killed off, that's VM probably trying to kill them with his villagers there, so that the food rots away and Rox can't take it. But VM, as a result, is angered. He's enacted the wrath of Rox, and Rox is chasing those villagers down, punching them to bits, those poor women, going back to the TC, battered and bruised. And they look like they've had a very rough night out on the town, getting back to the TC, and the other guys are like, whoa, what happened to you? God, your face is so bruised. And yeah, they're all a bit hurt at the moment. So VM struggling in that villager fight. And as a result, Rox getting a bit of an advantage here, killing that villager off early on, and managing to take these deer as well. He's also got 3 boar right next to his TC, so a great starting location for Rox there. VM on the other hand, whoa, God. Rox has also lamed this berry patch by walling it up. Kind of lame. VM, though, has got his own deer patch, but it doesn't look like he has anywhere near the boar that Rox has, so we can probably expect to see Rox in this situation with much more food going up to the feudal age. Rox is on 400 food at the moment, and he's taking those boar as well. VM is coming forwards though with these 5 villages. Is VM up to feudal? He's not. He's still dark. In fact, he's going in for round 2. Ding ding. Villagers coming in. They want to fight, and they're going to try and swarm these villagers from Rox. He wants his revenge. This guy probably going to die, but man, getting away with 8 health. And, Jesus, what is VM doing here? He's not throwing the game, though, that's for sure. His teammates would not be happy with him if he threw the game. He's weakening these villagers from Rox. That's what he's doing. He's getting in there and weakening them so that he can kill them later, right? Yeah, that must be the plan. Maybe he's going to lame this gold. Maybe he's just going to take Rox's boar. He's like, no, this is my boar. He's going to wall it up and stop Rox from taking that. And this is why I love Nomad. It's so messy at the start. It's so lame, but it is so great at the same time. And you know what? If VM can get down here and wall these boar off, that would be huge. But he doesn't know those boar are there. So that's really unfortunate. You know what? I don't think Rox knows that those boar are there either. If we look at his point of view now, no idea. There are 3 boar right here, and he has no clue. They're fighting over this 1 boar in the middle, unknown to them that there are 3 more just around the corner. So pretty fun start here for these guys at the south. And once again, we're going to see one of those situations where 2 players end up staying feudal for way longer than they perhaps should, and the Castle Age and Imperial Age players later on are going to start rolling all over them. Probably going to expect to see Rox or VM relocated later in this game as they have all manner of issues. Rox, though, up to the feudal age now. He's taking a lot of stone. Looks like he wants to get some towers up. VM losing another villager in this villager fight. And meanwhile, VM must be up to feudal as well. Losing another villager, actually. Messy stuff for him. And he is playing as the Koreans, so he probably wants to do some towers of his own, perhaps on this hill here or something like that. Perhaps he wants to go even further forwards. Who knows? But there is a stone pile over here that he knows about. He might take that. But VM is just so annoyed. He's like, God damn it, I'm losing all my villagers, apparently, to lag. And I imagine there probably is quite a lot of lag here. Taiwanese team versus international team. Lag is plenty. There's lag everywhere, I imagine. But already we got a bit of a big team wall coming up from the Roma guys. You see these walls coming up pretty quickly from them. And let's not forget, Roma actually won the Land Nomad game. The first game, Roma won it. And we can see that team wall coming up from Roma already. And I think part of their success in that first game was the fact that they did do a great team wall very early on. But wow, VM getting in there, more villagers. He's got militia in the fight now as well. 1 villager going down for each. And I mean, I imagine in this situation, Rox is probably going to lose a couple more villagers as he tries to put up a tower. But VM, a risky decision there, adding in a couple of militia. But this is going to give him a little bit more firepower, I guess you could say, on this flank. But he has to be careful because NH Boy is coming out with a couple of archery ranges here. And we could probably expect to see a couple of archers heading this way. Yes, we can. A couple of archers are out. And VM here is just so out of the way. There's no protection coming in from Kuta. Kuta's nowhere nearby. No feudal units from Kuta, and VM on this left flank is now open to a, well, in a 2v1 situation. Rox and NH Boy coming in, and yeah, VM's gonna have to go back here or risk losing a lot of villagers to these archers that NH Boy is adding in. Of course, Kuta will be fast castling this. He is playing as the, let's check, the Spanish, and of course that fast castle will be coming in. Knights will be coming out, but he has to help quickly because VM is 2v1. And he's losing ground very quickly. Kuta doesn't know what V2 means. VM putting V2 in the chat, meaning that it's 2v1. And Kuta's like, what is V2? I do not understand what this V2 is you speak of. But yeah, VM getting shafted on this flank at the moment. And VM needs help. Of course, Kuta will be down there with his knights. He's got his stable out very quickly. And we've got Mbel now as well, starting with some knight production in the middle of the map. But they are going to be facing up against Cloud's walls fairly soon. Cloud quick to wall up once again, and we've seen that already in the past. But NH Boy still feudal, and that's an interesting kind of decision. They're really trying to pressure VM on this left flank now as fast as they can. But knights coming in from Mbel. We're going to have knights in here from Kuta as well. And all of the action is coming in on the bottom of the map now as these guys come through. 2D Shock, thank you very much for becoming a Wallow Warlord. Thank you very much for subscribing. You're awesome, and we have everybody a brand new best subscriber. Thank you, 2D Shock, man. I really appreciate it. So, yeah, this left flank is looking so messy, isn't it? And, you know, this is a very different game to that first game we saw between Roma and Titanic. This is a whole different ball game at the moment. Of course, what's Eddie doing throughout all of this? Eddie is going around with his monks, trying to convert things. What a surprise. He gets a villager. The inside of Cloud's wall. Just, yep, got a villager. And he's going to go collect up those relics by the looks of things as well. He's playing as the Aztecs, so relic gold plus 33% on that. Worth it. And Eddie's all over that at the moment, which is fantastic. So NH Boy on this left flank, though, is doing great damage. He's still feudal. He's facing up against knights, but he's got spears and archers in here, +1 attack. These knights, by the way, at the moment unupgraded, no bloodlines or anything. So they are able to deal with them with spears and archers alone. But, yeah, I mean, the plan, I think, for Roma here was just to out-pressure VM, in a way. They were just trying to get him out of the game quickly by just rushing him down. But as a result, NH Boy has stayed feudal, and he is far from the castle age at the moment. Meanwhile, I thought that was army from Mbel there, but no, they're just sheep. But anyway, Mbel is in. These guys got through this wall somehow. Where is the hole? Oh, there's the hole. There's always a hole. Wallalow hole, everyone. As Mbel gets through with these knights now. They're unupgraded, but yeah, Cloud not prepared for that really at the moment. He is starting to get up that, well, he already got up that monastery, but he's not really got much gold income, just 4 villagers on gold at the moment, no monk coming out, and it looks like Mbel's not even concerned with Cloud at the moment. They are just descending on NH Boy's base, and NH Boy probably not going to expect knights from the rear, I guarantee you that, though he does have spearmen patrolling here. These knights going to come in, and Mbel going to get a few kills there, I guarantee it, as he gets into that wood line, and NH Boy loses a few villagers for shizzle, sending those spears over. 3 spears versus 5 knights. The knights should easily have that. Even unupgraded, they will have it. But I think Mbel gonna want to play it safe anyway, which is completely fair and understandable. 1 knight will go down. Oh, wow. Wow, how did NH Boy not get that last hit on that knight? I will never know. It looks like he'll get it though. Oh, god damn it. No, it's not going to happen. And Bel's just going to move out the way and not let that one happen at all. Meanwhile, Levi B, the Viking player, now up to castle, and this is the real big meta change here with this tournament. Since the coinage and banking upgrades have... Where is Levi B, by the way? There we go. Since the coinage and banking upgrades have been pushed back to the castle and imperial age respectively, we're seeing the Viking players actually go castle and boom up on 3 TCs and then sling. I imagine Levi B is going to be slinging this one. And Bell, though, getting taken down very quickly by NH Boy's spears. And although he's still feudal, he is still holding out. And he did lose a couple of vills, but yeah, this knight's not going to be too effective now, and they're outnumbered by spearmen. But this is not ideal. Eddie, though, Eddie coming forwards with his monks. Eddie's monks. Wallow warrior right here. Eddie is a Wallow warrior. As much as he probably doesn't want to be, he is a Wallow warrior. And those monks coming through to the center of the map. Looking pretty risky for Cloud as this Mangonel just hammers away on that TC. And this is the thing. The Taiwanese team, the Roma team, they want that T-wall so much. They really want that. At the moment, they are open. They are just... Well, they're not open now. He's patched it up, but Eddie's got through. And the pressure's coming in nice and early. Eddie killing those sheep as well with his Mangonel there. Look at that. This sheep getting killed off. Poor Cloud, and Eddie just going to take that TC down. As soon as Cloud tries to reinforce that, Eddie's monks are just going to convert anything that comes nearby. So I think for Eddie here, he's looking really great. Clayman in the chat wants a shout out, so there you go, Clayman. God damn it, Clayman, distracting me from my commentary. What do you call this? Anyway, on the left side, VM still trying to tower up, and as the Koreans, it makes sense they get the free guard tower upgrade once they reach the castle age, and it's looking like that towering is never going to end. VM just going to keep towering this up non-stop. But look at Rox, man. He's down to just this one TC. He's not really got a whole lot here either. I mean, he's been raided a little bit. He's had more towers dropped on him by VM. And Rox has 25 population at this point in time. VM has 40. Even though he's still feudal, he has 40 population. NH Boy doing very little damage to VM's eco, and that is unexpected, to say the least. Eddie's still pressuring this TC from Cloud, and I've got to say Eddie's performance these last couple of games has been very good. That last game with the Viking sling, allowing him to just, you know, absolutely wreck it once he got up to the Imperial Age. Again, Eddie just on Cloud, and Eddie's monks going for the conversions. He's got his Scorpion in there for some extra damage. Three out of 6, out of 7 even, 4 out of 7, 5 out of 7 units converted, and that Mangonel gonna go down, but Eddie comes out on top with those pikeman conversions there. Numbers are in Eddie's favor, micro not quite so in Eddie's favor there, and that TC from Cloud, how the hell has he kept that up? I will never know, but Cloud seems to be out of stone, and that TC will eventually go down. Well, he was not out of stone actually. He just stopped repairing. He's given up. He says, right, that's it. I'm done. That TC, you can have it, Eddie. I don't care. I'm moving away. I'm away from here. So Eddie on this side, looking great. Meanwhile, Embel just booming up. And his castle, he won't be long before he's Imperial. I'm telling you. Embel will be Imperial reasonably soon, as this boom is looking good. And he is trying to take down these feudal units from NH Boy. NH Boy, by the way, just up to Castle Age, but he wasn't fast enough. He managed to take down those feudal units so fast. Now I'm wondering where on earth Kuta is. He's booming up still, but I'm not really seeing any military from him at all. Let's have a look at that military minimap. Yeah, no real military from Kuta at all there. But Embel doing the damage on this flank. He's got his knights there to help. Now that Bloodlines upgrade is done, and the +1 defense is done as well. Now Rox is defended here. He has got these walls up. Oh no, saying that, there is a hole. There is always a hole, guys. That is one thing we can take from these streams. There is always a hole. Going through this hole here is going to be... Oh, it's wide open. If all these guys have to do is just open it a little bit here. I'm sure there's a way through, and those knights can just get back in to their eco once more. NH Boy, though, pikemen now, and crossbows as well. Probably going to deter Embel a little bit. Embel might just wait till the Imperial Age to really engage this. Meanwhile, though, Eddie's still pushing forwards. He did, however, lose his mangonels again, but he has got knights now. Considering that Eddie is an Aztec player and he can't even build the stable, somehow he has 4 knights. That is, of course, the power and the beauty of conversions, and Eddie's got so many monks here. His monk micro is good, to say the least. I mean, that good is an understatement. He's probably going to get a few conversions if he's paying attention. Pay attention, Eddie, get the conversions, and that army of pikes is going to be reduced to nothing in a moment's time, as Eddie just goes convert, 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 and gets them all. Not bad going at all, keeping himself on top there as NH Boy's army just disintegrates and turns blue. The power of the Aztecs compels him to just convert. Anyway, I'm surprised Cloud's kept that TC alive. That's a pretty good going from him. And that castle going up in front of the town centre there. So many villagers building that, but I mean, come on. He's got to defend this somehow, and a castle is the only way to really stop this kind of push. Eddie's mangonels won't stand up to a castle. And Eddie, though, Yep, just gonna get a few more villager kills before he gets out of there. Cloud, yeah, gonna get the castle up eventually, but the bright side, he is the Franks. And I think that's the only bright side at the moment, because the Frank castle's slightly cheaper, allowing him to pull that one off. Now, on the left side, it's still looking very messy. In fact, VM is still feudal. He has just clicked up to the castle age. He's 75%, but he's still ahead of Rox, who is still feudal and just doing wheelbarrow at 36 minutes in game time, as he rebuilds his economy now on the south of the map. Looking pretty good for Titanic, I've got to say. Embel is pulling ahead, and now this is the big thing here. Embel up to the Imperial Age. We're going to see Paladins fairly soon from the red player here. They're busting down these walls from Cloud. Cloud kind of split off from his teammates. Levi B, the Viking player, can't really do much to stop this. He's slinging, I think, and you know, a few knights, a few light cavalry, not going to be enough to stop this push from Eddie at the moment. Once the Paladins come out from Embel, they're either going to go straight into Cloud's base, because Cloud as the Franks poses a pretty big threat in the late game, due to having those Frankish Paladins, or they're going to go straight into NH Boy and Rox and just put them out of the game in an instant. Now, the problem here for Roma is that their two big late game players are going to be the Franks and the Mongols. The Mongols are completely out. The Franks are under pressure from the Castle Age onwards. That's not what you want. Whereas the other guys, the Titanic team, their big players are going to be the Spanish and the Persians in the late game. Aztecs going to have a pretty big impact, but I think they fall off slightly. Their Eagles don't stack up as well as the Paladins do. But yeah, the big late game players here are going to be the Spanish and the Persians, but they've had a free boom. They're Imperial now. Kuta's got to be clicking up any moment. He's already Imperial. So yeah, the Imperial Age players for the Titanic team are getting ready to roll. Those Cavalier upgrades coming in, and the Paladin upgrades won't be too far behind it. And Eddie here just keeping that pressure on, locking down this area of the map and allowing them to break through this wall. The wall is down, Capt Ram is done, and Embel is just going to run through. And we'll see where they go. It looks to me like Embel is going to go straight to Cloud. And then we've got Kuta going straight in to Rox here. Rox with the quick wall. Tried to stop and keep these guys out as best he can. But, I mean, they can't wall this forever. It's eventually going to go down. And Kuta here could just upgrade his rams as well for good measure. And we've also got guard towers from VM now, since he's also now into the Castle Age. And these upgrade for free. Playing as the Koreans, going to be a good late game powerhouse as well, but under all that pressure, I don't think VM's ever going to get there at this point in time. Embel coming forwards with those knights, cleaning up the light cavalry from NH Boy, and more light cavs in here from Levi B, but I mean, pikemen out from Eddie at the moment, and Eddie is also Imperial. It's just, yeah, a lot of Imperial Age players. In fact, 3 of the 4 Titanic players are Imperial now. Levi B just going Imperial. Rox is just going Castle. Cloud is still Castle, not Imperial for him. And these guys, the Titanic team, are getting so far ahead at the moment. Cloud's base getting shut down as these knights come in and the rams come through. This TC looks like it's about to fall any minute. And Eddie's just got a huge range of units here. I mean, he's got light cavalry and knights, and he doesn't even have access to a stable building. These monks doing work, to say the least. But these guys really defending this now with castles as best they can. And the Viking player going to be switching into some Arbalest, but really the Arbalest will not stand up too well at the moment. When they're outnumbered like this, they kind of need a meat shield in front of them to be able to hold out and hold their own. Left side, NH Boy is trying to defend here. He is still Castle as well, so 2 of the Roma players are still Castle. 3 of the Roma players, sorry, are still Castle versus the 3 that are Imperial now for the Titanic team. It's a huge advantage, and they have played this one so well and so nicely. With Eddie's just map control in the center, so good. Embel now with that +4 defense on his Cavalier. He's going to push these villagers back here and open up and make some space, I guess, for these rams to come through and start taking down these castles. And of course, if those castles fall, it's just going to be yet another way for them to get in and get through this opening. Kuta Wow, Kuta coming up with these Cavalier as well, and Mbel and Kuta just piling into this little choke point. If they get in, Levi B's whole eco will get destroyed, and it looks like GG from the Roma team now. Cloud, nothing left of his base, and they really needed Cloud, the Frank player, to be able to get Imperial and get those knights. We've got the Elite Eagles from Eddie just raiding his eco, and all that's left is Levi B, and he resigns as well with that GG in the chat there. Well played. Well played by Titanic. That was a really fun Land Nomad game, actually. That was really great. This left side, so much action in the early game, so much back and forth between VM and Rox, and then, of course, NH Boy with that feudal aggression. Almost did not expect to see that at all. Their plan, of course, to take out VM quickly, but VM managed to survive long enough for the Knights of Kuta to come in and help defend. Meanwhile, Eddie and Mbel pushing through the center of the map, through Cloud's walling here, and Eddie just holding this ground, like just out so far from his base, holding it down, and keeping Cloud in the Castle Age. After that, it was just a case of letting the pocket players, the Persians and the Spanish boom up, and it was GG. So very well played by the Titanic game.